Hi, many thanks for attending this workshop. We are not used to talk to this kind of public because we are more related with the audiovisual industry, but we would like to share with you the things we are building at Quantic Brains and the approach that with people of the industry we are working together right now and who is helping us to discover that we have a very good fit to the book industry also. We are at the end developing artificial intelligence tools, not things that replace the authors, not things that are replacing the creativity of the humans. We are giving them tools to help them to do their job faster and cheaper. That's the approach we are trying to do in the audiovisual industry, but also that is easily to apply to the book industry. And that's something we would like to share with you. We are going to present the company and the project, but we are also to give you the opportunity to test the demos we are building. One of them is more related to the audiovisual creation in the full aspect of the content, but a few of them are very focused on the book industry because we are working together with two companies in the industry right now, and we are offering them the solution that we think is good for them. Maybe later you can ask us about the implications and the things that could give you ideas or fear, or I don't know, maybe it's a very actual issue to talk about artificial intelligence today, but we would like to share with you the illusion to do new things in a new way. It's just to adapt, as we adapted before, the theater to the cinema, the candles to the light. It's just the approach and the use you could do for this technology is on your hands, not ours. Okay, at Quantic Brains, we are thinking about the possibility to create brains for 3D characters that could act in any of the digital environments you can imagine. Movies, video games, metaverse, anything. The creation of the content is really expensive. Probably I'm not sure if you could be used or you have any idea about the process of creation of audiovisual, not just book. And to create one movie, one video game is really expensive, not only in economic terms, also in time. At the end, if you want to create one movie, maybe you can be working for 3 or 4 years previously to be the movie on the theaters or to be on platforms. Right now, it's more usual. But at the end, we are trying to give to the creators in any kind of the cultural industry, we could say, tools to do it cheaper and faster. We have been working with studios, and we have tested that we can offer them savings of money close and up to 60%, but also in time 90%. Imagine what could that represent to one studio that is working for several years to release their creations to the public and the opportunity to do it in this time. Today, time is gold or more than gold. That's what we are trying to create. At the end, we are developing several lines of technology. Text generation probably is the most important today here. We are creating the voices for the characters. We are imagining what could you do with artificial voices to create audiobooks in real time. It's real. It's not an imagination. Today, we can create voices that could read your books in real time, and you could offer to your customers and to readers the possibility to listen the books you are launching in a very simple way, and you could choose even the voices, you could choose the voices not for just the narrator, maybe for all the people who is acting on the book. And that's something that today is possible, and I can promise you. At the end, we could talking about competitors, this deck is more used to show to the investors and things like that. But the tool we are creating gives the creators and the people, maybe not professional, the opportunity to choose the characters we are offering them, but they can use their own characters that they have been working on, developing the physical appearance and the rigging of the characters. We can upload to the scene. We can import the environments and the scenarios in which the scene will be taking place. You can import the action and combine movement generated by the artificial intelligence with the movement you have been animating with, or in the traditional way, with animators at your studio. We can give you the opportunity to edit all the aspects that you have been deciding for this movie. We are not giving you one close result from a prompt. We are giving you the opportunity to edit the text, the movement, the animation, the voices, the music that could appear on the movie. And at the end, you will receive, you can edit with the position of the cameras. At the end, we are working on a 3D environments and things like that, and you can get the final result that you have been working on, but you can edit everything and get what you want, not another thing. At the end, this is market, maybe more things. We have been working, traction, we have been working, and one of them is here, and I would like to say thank you to Juarez and Luis, because we are working with them to start with a pilot that will not be a pilot, it will be a final product in a few months with voices and the generation of audiobooks in real time. That's something we are working currently on that. And we have been signing agreements with companies who is working, for example, Robots Can Cry is the company who is developing the robots that you can see at the Mandalorian. Probably is something very famous. But we are working also with famous directors like Javier Fesser or things like that. We are really involved and really trying to get the feedback from the people who is the final user of the technology to give them a tool, as always say. It's a tool, it's not something to replace the author, something to replace the creativity of the humans. I think talking about the company is everything. This is the team. We are here 2 of the 3 founders. Manuel, who is the expert on artificial intelligence, probably could be the most hated on the team today, if you start to ask. But I'm more used to talk about finance, numbers, and business. And Roy is the guy who is in charge of the 3D engines and the movement and the animation, we could say. Probably we can start to talk about solutions, explicitly thinking about this industry, and we could start to share with you the product.
So we are currently building a platform. The name of the platform is Vice, and we will be launching it very soon. And in Vice, you will be able to generate your own voices, your own stories. I think stories apply to your use case, and also voices, and also your own films with artificial intelligence. And so in this case, we can see a use case of stories. This is for a company that, if you remember these books when I was young, that you could choose your own story. Like if you choose to go this path, go to page 55, right? So what we are doing with these important book companies, we are taking this more into the video game stories. It's a mix between books and video games. What they provide, well, basically this application is very simple. You just put the title of the story, and just with the title, it magically creates the story with all the branches that you have decided the story to have. And let's see an example. For example, we wrote Alien Cowboy. And so after it takes around 5 minutes to generate, a couple of minutes, it doesn't start in 2 minutes because it's like thinking of the structure of the story and making it to have sense because it has to end like different branches. But once it starts, we can make a demo then if you guys want. It starts like writing the first box, the second, it goes quite fast. As I say, more or less in 5 minutes you have this story. So in this case, this editor provided us this structure that you can see here. The structure means the empty boxes. So they provided how many empty boxes the artificial intelligence had to fill in with content. And also a little bit, in this case, to make it like a game experience for the user, so that the user could live this story in first person. So there's, in one side, we created a narrator, artificial narrator, and in the other side, there's the character. In this case, is Karen, but this is what the user has chosen to be. So the user is Karen. And so it starts a story, in this case, about Alien Cowboy. As you can see, well, a curious alien named Zack's visit from a distant galaxy, blah, blah, blah. Okay, there's this like introduction, which is more time it takes at the end for the artificial intelligence. And after that, they provide this structure. As I said, this is the full structure. This is how it looks. But it could have as many branches as you might decide. You can upload these branches structure as JSON, and once they are filled with information, you can also download from our tool as a JSON.
Sorry, I'm not sure I understood. What was it that was entered?
So the only thing that the user entered was the title, Alien Cowboy. Only by entering the title. So in this case, what we give these editors is the ability to directly give the reader the ability to create in real time their own story and to live it in first person and to choose in real time where the story has to go. Because the user chooses, okay, now I am Karen, right? In this case. So in this point of the story, he's going to read, right? He's going to read this book, not in this format, of course. They apply their own format, right? With drawings and so on. But I don't know if you're used to video games. There are some story video games. So in this case, after some things, after this introduction, it says, Karen, with my trusty.
Maybe super slow when you all exit.
Yes.
Sorry that I keep you up. Could you please go up again?
Yeah, sure.
So we type in the title.
We just type the title. That's all.
What comes out of the machine is this.
Yes.
This, and then, no. It comes everything. This. So what we got from the, you should imagine all these boxes empty. This is what the book house gives to us. They have to fill these empty boxes, okay?
But they tell you it's a narrator, it's a character.
They can tell us that, or they can leave it free to the artificial intelligence, and they decide also how many branches of the story they want.
So in this case, you said Alan Cowboy, you said 4 boxes.
No, not for what? Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8. No, many. As you can see, there are like 30 or 40 boxes. You create this, yes. You create this
with
empty
all the
structure.
possible ends and with all the possible choice the reader can make.
And how is the box defined so that I know that I want 6 or 5?
That's something we have received the feedback from the editorial.
Yes.
I want, because at the end, imagine if this could be a book. I need 16 pages. If I need 16 pages, I need 16 boxes, more or less. Then I have to give the order to the artificial intelligence.
If you see it as a user also, I need the user to be engaged in this story for 10 minutes. So for 10 minutes, you need this kind of content, and then he generates a new story.
But this
so it depends.
can be open. And imagine that you can, in real time, to give the option to your readers to decide. The story can be 1 minute, because you die, or not. The story can be infinite, because you start to make choices and to decide what to do in any of the movements that you can
It could be
choose.
unlimited. It can be a never-ending story, if you want, because it's generated in real time.
And unique for each one of the readers.
But the blue boxes, are those filled in by in this case, all the branches?
So the branches, the only thing the artificial intelligence knows is they have to split at this point with 2 splits.
Yeah.
So he decides, depending on the story, what to put here in the green, like here. And now what? To face my fears and search for clues. That's written by the artificial intelligence. And it's the reason is because of what happened before in the story. So it's not given by the book company.
Could they add this and you could kind of interpolate between the waypoints basically in the book?
Sorry, could they
So you could have story points basically, and the AI would interpolate is maybe a good word actually, because it can start somewhere.
Yes.
In the narrative that ends up at a specific.
You mean as a human, can you, as a writer, to set...
So you can outline a story and then...
Yes, in fact, here we give the... Oops, I think it's not working, but there should be the option to edit, right? If you click in a box...
I meant if the AI could maybe, if you give it like X amounts of parts of the story. Or
Yes. As I said, you can click there. Now it's not working, sorry. But if you click then, you can even say, OK, from this branch on, redo it, or I want to edit this one as a human, and then you continue. So you can edit this also. So it can be used in real time without any human intervention, but also it can be used, this company does not use it in real time. So they give us the structure, then someone revises and plays with our tool, and after playing, they publish that. So we are like in the middle of what to do, right, as creators. So we give all the opportunities as creators to create. If someone wants to do it automatically, you can do, of course. But we give the tools for empowering the creativity also of the creators. So in this example, and one thing also we are working on is for each of these pieces, we are creating an image for the story. So with that, the user has the full experience of a real-time story with the text, choosing where the story goes, and also with an image that illustrates the text. We can try now to generate if you want, and in the meantime, because it takes time, I can show you more things. So,
an image like a comic or manga or whatever?
You can choose
yes,
the style.
You can choose also style and so on.
At the end, for example, and we have to be completely honest with you, we are developing text generation. We are not developing image generation. If you want to illustrate your book, we can connect to Stable Diffusion, Deep Journey, and you can choose. This is a manga style, this is a cartoon, this is something. And that's something we can offer to you to integrate the full solution, because we are focused on the text generation, but not for books, for movies. That's something we are going to show you a bit later. And if you want to illustrate your books, you can choose the generative tools that are very well known on the market right now, because that's something we cannot put the force today because we are working in another way. But you can choose.
If you want, if someone wants to tell me just a title of a story, then we can see if it works. Someone would like to say some title?
The life of a book.
The life of the book.
Ooh,
Perfect.
Life of the book. Life of a book. Or a book alive. I don't know if it has to be a story with the narrator and you like interact. So, well, I mean, we can say whatever. Life of a book. Okay. And, I don't know if it's working. Let's see. Yes, it's now generating, okay? It will take like 5 minutes, so we'll go later. And in the meantime, we can also show you more things. For example, we are working on some videos. In this case, are like sort of abstract videos that we are making for promotion. So you can imagine that you want to promote, you want to make an event, like this book event. You want to promote it, and you can just enter a prompt and create like sort of an abstract video with this. And it creates also the text to make this promotion. So I don't know, you can also choose different styles. We can try here if you want to see if it works. So if anyone would like to
With Magin or
read Magin. Oops. How would we describe this? Like book?
International Book Fair or
International
event.
Book Fair.
You can choose the style.
You can choose different styles. Let's go with
It's a
disco.
good one.
And then also different aspect ratio. We can leave that one. Subtitles or no subtitles. And the voice, I say, please come to this event, blah, blah, blah. OK, let's try also this one. And hopefully it works. As I say, this one takes between 5 and 10 minutes because it's generating many, many images to make the video. It's very short. It's like 20, 30 seconds. It's just a small. We could make it longer, but in this case, it's short.
May I ask something? You skip the slide of the comparison with what you do in the other part. I think that would be interesting.
Sure.
Even someone who is not an investor, in order to better understand what is your, let's say,
Sure.
Maybe you would like to expand on that. I don't know if it's the right time. But
Sure, no problem. While we wait for the movie. So basically, we are, as a company, we are very special because normally companies, especially startups, they focus in one thing. And it's an important thing for a startup, doing very well a small thing. In this case, since we are creating audiovisual, we cannot focus only on voices or only on images or only on dialogues. No, we have to do the whole thing. So what we find is that competitors are doing like small pieces. For example, here Deep Motion makes animation for the characters, for 3D characters. We also do that. Or, for example, OpenAI is very good at creating the text, but they are only doing that. They are not integrating characters with text, images, sound, music, and so on. So basically, this is a little bit of the landscape. In the case of Charisma and Inward, they are similar in the sense that they have a focus in 3D characters. But in our case, but they do not really generate films or create assets for video games or are not doing things for audiobooks, as Julio said before. So they are also very focused on one single piece. And that's the main difference, I guess.
you have a full workflow, let's say, I understand. And that doesn't mean that you have some compromises, I mean, in the results in some parts. I mean, okay, you have the whole thing.
Yes.
But does it mean that you have to compromise in some parts? Because, for example, or you are betting some parts. Because, for example,
You cannot.
So that's also...
Yes, that's why we specialize. We cannot compete with these monsters like OpenAI, and we do not want to compete with them. In fact, we even give the option to plug in our solution to their API if you want. We build our own APIs, so you will be able also to use ours, but we are not close to use theirs. Because what we do is like a higher level technology. If you want to build these stories, it's not just using OpenAI. You need more things. And we will see later in an example how you configure a scene and how you give the background of the characters. We will see another demo of that. And that is something that you cannot do with OpenAI just in one day. You need to work a lot with that.
And something important is sometimes when you want to use ChatGPT or something like that, the legal conditions, the use of these solutions are restricted. It's not completely open. For us, it's important to have the possibility to do everything. If you have to pay royalties or to pay the fee of ChatGPT, or if they decide to cut the use for audiovisual content, that's something that was real in the previous legal conditions. We couldn't use ChatGPT to create audiovisual content. It was on the legal terms of the solution. For us, it's important to have the possibility to do everything. And sometimes when you go to one studio and say to one creator that you are giving them one script, the reaction is not good. They are creators. They have continued working on their scripts. Then we have to have the flexibility to offer them the full solution or be modular. Okay, you don't want test generation? Perfect. Give me the script. We'll put the script on the machine, and you will receive the rest of the parts of the work. That's something we have to be able to face, because at the end, we have to offer solutions to the customers. We cannot say, okay, probably it's something that ChatGPT offers to you. You write a prompt, and you get one answer. It's the answer of ChatGPT, but maybe it's not the answer you want to use on your work. Then we have to be able to work with these kind of situations when we go to the creators, because at the end we are on a cultural industry that we have to offer them tools again.
I ask some more, yeah. Because we are in the opposite in the way conference, not distributed and so on. When you train, a text generator especially, what kind of data? I mean, because there's always this concern that, especially
Yes.
that they are stealing from books and things like that.
We are using open source data. We are not using sources with IP rights or things like that, because at the end it's something very important. I can imagine this conversation we have in all of the meetings we have. The IP protection and the IP rights are on the table always. We are not creating the data sets we are working with books or scripts protected. We are going to public sources, public information to create the data set and to train the models. At the end, it's a question of volume and training. If you have enough information, for us, for example, it's easier to go to English sources because the amount of text or scripts and things like that, free rights is huge, and in Spanish, for example, it's not.
But
you have to find.
Underlying is probably Facebook's leaked model, I guess, because that's the only open one. You cannot say, of course.
Yes, we can. There are different. Not only that one. Yes, we of course we build on open source fonts in that case. Anyway, I think there's depending on now the legal part is evolving in different countries. Maybe more in the UK, it's a little bit more evolved. My personal opinion is if If AI is doing something creative, I mean, it's not copying. It's not copying one book. It's generating a new book. It can get inspiration as a human from many books. So honestly, but it's just my personal opinion, I don't see, you will see, even if it has read books that have that have been written by humans, we are writing a new book. So it's not something that is entering in collision with IP of any, oops, sorry. Okay, so it's going to be a strange book because this is supposed for like video game stories, but let's see what it says here. Oh, 1 second.
You would have said that it's going to be a romantic thing. So this is what you have defined before.
In this case, in this current application, this is for a real client. They did not ask that, but we will make to you a demo where you can ask about romantic and so on.
So you could choose, this is
Yes. Emotions, feelings.
We could have done it. In this demo is not, but we can do. And we will make a short film after, and you can choose if it's romantic or not. So we are able to also do that. So let's see. Narrator: in a post-apocalyptic world where books are scarce and highly valued, a young boy named Paul discovers an old mysterious stone while on a scavenging mission. Little does he know, this book holds the key to unlocking a long-lost secret that could change the world forever. Paul is the user, okay, the reader. Paul: I never thought I would find myself in this situation, trapped in dark and dingy hallway with no way out. But as I flip open the book, ancient symbols reveal the map to locate the one source of water which could save my dying village. With determination in my heart, I set out on a perilous journey to find the water source, fighting off mutant creatures and scavengers along the way. As I stumbled upon the hidden oasis, a sense of hope filled me, knowing that this book had saved my people from certain death. Narrator: Paul returned to his village, a hero, hailed for his bravery and resourcefulness, but little did he know his discovery was about to spark a chain of events that would shake the very foundations of society. And now what? So now the reader has to choose to use the book to lead a revolution or to keep the book a secret. Let's suppose, I know you guys want to make the revolution, so let's go for that. So, using the knowledge gained from the ancient tome, I organized like-minded individuals to rise up against the authoritarian regime that had been holding us down for far too long, and so on. Okay, I won't keep reading, but as you can see, there are so many other branches here. He decides to start a library, to build a school, to create a democracy, to unite the survivors, and at the end, oops, sorry, there is an end of each one of these branches. For example, here, Paul realized that the true power of the book he had discovered, or the book lived on as a symbol of hope and knowledge in a world that had been reborn. So, as you can see, it is very easy to create, just with a title, a story with different branches. And it's not here, but imagine that it can also be illustrated, because this is what we are adding to this current product. Now, let's go to the film.
I was thinking.
It's still generating, takes more time, like 10 minutes. So in the meantime, let's make a romantic demo, as you suggested.
The voice is...
Also the voices.
Because the aliens in the post-apocalyptic were kind of close.
Sure. By the way, in this advertisement, because it's like an advertisement of Red Magic event that it automatically was made, there is artificial voice. It's like, it will say like, very enthusiastic, let's go to Red Magic because blah, blah, I suppose. We will see what...
Can you choose the voices of the characters?
Yes, not here, but yes, we have this ability.
But where it says voices, is it a
Yes,
voice?
it is, but coming soon. So we are currently working on that. we are working with many voice actors
Yes.
from Spain and from the...
Do they know they are?
Yes.
Yes, sure, they sign up
An
a
agreement?
contract so that the IP of their voice can be used in our products, sure.
How about video games?
Also coming soon. We are releasing, next week, we are releasing an asset for the animation so that video game creators can make very good animations and very soft animations for their characters.
Yeah. And also behavior setting in the end, because that really sounded awesome.
Sorry, for?
Behaviors. Yes.
Yes. Also, we are working on an asset which is called Battle AI. So automatically, there are in the video game, for video game creators, it's very complicated, or it takes so much time to code all the intelligence of the characters. For example, let's suppose that you are in a team and you have to fight against another team, which is the computer. So to give intelligence to this other team, the NPCs, the non-player, it takes months to develop. With our solution, we are implementing neural networks that they decide each of these characters that appear in the video game, how they have to behave, to hide, to shoot, to organize intelligently in teams, to make team. So we are also working on that.
Yes.
1 second. Let's see, you asked for voices. Let's see if I have something here for... I think I have a link over here. Not sure what it was.
How much data do you need to clone a voice in your solution?
So when we started, we needed 10 hours.
Yes.
Now we need 10 minutes. It's a recent evolution.
Yes.
But for very, very good quality,
Yes.
we still need to go higher. And in this case, since it's like actors' voices, it's better if you put more time.
When we did the actors' voices, do they get royalties for the time their voice is used?
It depends, because we have to sign an agreement with which one of them are asking for royalties and another not. For example, it depends on the nationality of the actors. In the UK or States, they are more used to a work for hire without royalties. In Spain or Europe, they are used to get paid for IP rights for the voices. That depends. We are trying to work with States and UK in order to make it simply. It's not something to give the solution very complicated to the final customer. At the end, we are offering a solution to studios or things like that. If we have to start to play the game to liquidate royalties quarterly or things like that, it's become more complicated to offer. Because at the end, we are not talking about the IP rights is for the creator. We are the software tool or the tool to create, and the IP rights is for the creators, for the writer, for the musician or things like that. But we are not trying to work in that game.
So in this case, we have created, even if we have device interface, as you saw before, but we also provide to the clients APIs, so that any developer, as I will do here online, can just, with a command, send the text, and it will get the voice in return, right? And we also make like more complex projects, as Julio said before, like, okay, we get a book and we create the audiobook, but in essence, the simplest interaction is, okay, you give me a sentence and I return you this sentence. In this case, this was the first character we made with an actor in United States. It was for a rude policeman, and we have it in. We made two sentiments: the neutral and the angry one. So you can tell me any sentence you want, and we can listen to that. If anyone wants to suggest, if not, we can write anything.
Good afternoon, sir. May I see your license?
Okay. Oops. Is the sound activated? Can you, I think it's not working, the audio? The audio, is it working, the audio, guys? El audio, estoy reproduciendo y no...
Good afternoon.
Okay.
Sir, may I see your license?
So we can also make it like more angry. Now I am very angry.
Are you drinking right now?
Sorry?
Are you drunk?
Are you drunk?
Yes, we make all sorts of voices.
Yes.
In fact, for audiobooks, it's a woman narrator that we are doing. For this demo, we are doing with the policeman, which is a man, but we work with actors and actresses too, with both.
Neutral.
If you had more training data, do you think it would recognize the question mark and actually make a question? Because I find that it's still kind of many of these, even neural network-based TTS or synthesized voices, still have a hard time sometimes picking up on when to phrase something as a question. Let's say interesting with the exclamation mark. Let's see if it actually uses that hint.
Sure. Oops.
Now I am very angry. Are you drunk or what?
For example. As you see, this is different, even if there are companies that make voices, but normally it's like TTS, like soft voices. In our case, it's very acting and with sentiment. So it's like different market for us, but also different technology. And let's see the film. Hopefully, we have something
And probably
created.
the final demo, the complete film.
Oops, no, I wanted to show.
Download.
Well, maybe here.
Discover the world of literature at the International Book Fair. Immerse yourself in a diverse range of books from classic literature to contemporary fiction and explore different cultures through their written works. Meet renowned international authors, attend book signings, and participate in engaging workshops and discussions. With a wide selection of books, there's something for everyone at this event. Don't miss out on this exciting opportunity to expand your literary horizons. Join us at the International Book Fair today.
For example. So
The last
this is
one.
more experimental. There are other types of styles also. There's like Japanese here. We generated one with Japanese.
Experience the beauty and elegance of Japanese poetry as a samurai writes a haiku. Join us for an unforgettable evening of culture and creativity, where you'll witness the artistry of a true samurai. Immerse yourself in the world of haiku and learn about the rich history and tradition behind this beloved form of poetry. Don't miss out on this unique opportunity to witness a samurai's poetic prowess.
In this case, the input was, so let me see here. Of samurai. So if you can hear also this voice, we made that, and it's a different voice. It's like for advertisement with more emotion. But it's artificial voice, right? It doesn't seem, but it's artificial.
La demo. La grande.
And last
But not least.
and not least, we have, we are working, as we said, as a company, our focus in 3D character brains. So what we sell is you want to build a character, we create the brain for video games or for films. The brain includes the capacity to talk, as you saw, but also like the background, even what happened to this character in the past. In fact, here we can think of two character backgrounds. You can suggest me, and we can also say what we want, like this character, to have the dialogue about. So please feel free to tell me, and of course we will choose romantic here. And what would you like these characters to talk about? Sorry? Rainy days in Madrid. Okay. Let's put some background to the two characters. We can put things that might probably affect the dialogue or not. In the sense, if we are talking about rainy days, we can also put one character had a bad experience when he was a boy or a girl. He had this light in his head when it was raining, so now he hates rain. And probably, we don't know, because this is artificial intelligence, probably it will consider this background when creating this, or whatever. Just feel free to tell me any background of these characters, and we can write and see what happens. Any idea?
It's hydrophobic.
Okay. Character 1, I hope to write it well. Hydrophobic. Is it correct? The first one? Okay. Is hydrophobic.
Loves the rain.
And the second one loves the rain. This looks more like angry. This is going to be an angry conversation more than romantic, but we can try with romantic anyway.
It's a mermaid.
It's a piroma.
Sorry?
Piroma.
How do you say it in English? Piromano?
P-Y... Pyromanic.
Like this? Pyromaniac?
First one, Y.
Again, okay, same error.
Manic, without the E.
It was correct?
With A, okay.
With A? Okay.
Action.
We can go. Are we sure?
3, 2, 1.
Okay. Let's go. This is going to be like a 40 seconds scene where you can see all the components of our technology. You will see some AI. It's writing the story right now. It very fast passes this story to the AI that is converting this into voices. Then there is the camera AI that needs to decide where and when to move the camera. He sets the characters in the scene, and then there is some music also, background music, made with artificial intelligence.
Which also takes into account that it's romantic.
Yes, hopefully, yes. We don't know. It's a live demo, everything might happen.
Is the music also generated?
Yes, everything is generated. In this case, images are not, in the previous one, images, the video you saw, images were generated. In this case, this is for a B2C, for B2B, for animation studios. So they provide their own characters, and the artificial intelligence moves them and decides where to put cameras and so on. Okay, let's go.
I sure hate rainy days. It's the worst for someone who's hydrophobic.
Yay, Madrid isn't exactly known for its sunniest days, so getting rained on is like a given.
I don't even want to think about it. The mere thought of getting wet just makes me uncomfortable.
Well, I like the rain. Something about it just calms me down and makes me relaxed.
You're a pyromaniac though, so why on earth would you enjoy a cold, damp day?
I wouldn't say enjoy, exactly. To me, it's like a reminder of how I can't control everything. Nature will take its course, no matter what I think of it.
Well, that's one bright side of it, I guess. But I'm still not too fond of getting soaked in the process.
Yeah, I get it. But if there's one thing that's true, it's that the good times will always come after the bad. Like rain's clearing up the sky so we can see the sun again.
That's actually not a bad way of thinking. I'll try to look at it that way too.
It's a good habit. We can still enjoy the rain, without it ever being a burden. Think of all the things you can do, even when it's raining. We can cook some hot food, read a book, stay in.
Getting
and
romantic.
Now that
I
you
hope
put
they
it
don't
that
kiss
way,
in real time.
rainy days in Madrid doesn't sound so bad. It's a way of starting anew and embracing the changes that come with it.
Exactly. Life is too short to worry about the little things. Let's just enjoy life while we can.
And that's it.
Thank you.
So I think now can be the time for some questions or,
Yes,
or things
we are.
that you guys would like.
Now I'm going to set fire to our house, and you won't be able to.
You have any question? You had to say something? Yes, we need to give you the micro to talk.
I didn't have anything to say. I just said, wait.
You have a question? Please get the...
I don't expect a precise quote, but if I want to, I did clone my voice a long, long time ago, more than 10 years. What would the cost of doing it now? Or what range? I don't need a specific...
The cost, if you don't ask for any amount to pay to you for the hours of recording, it's just the cost of cloud computing processes. It's not really expensive. The way in which we are cloning the voices is working with actors, professional actors. We have to pay the hours that they have to spend recording their voices in the different emotions we are showing to you, because at the end, to get an angry emotion, romantic, sad, happy, is just to record a number of hours. As Manuel was telling to you 1 month ago, 10 hours, today 10 minutes. If you give us 10 minutes of your voice, we can clone your voice, and it's really cheap.
How many times do you need to create a new voice?
So basically, depends on the data set, as Julio said, because our technology has evolved a lot. It took a lot of time to record, because it's not just recording. You must record some sentences in the good order. It was a lot of time. Then we have to process. We have to manually see if the quality is good, because sometimes the actors are missing, or the microphone is not working well. So this is really what it was taking more time. Now that the process of the amount of hours of the actors has been reduced, it's only the time of training. And we can have in one day the first approach of voice, but for having it for high quality, like for films, it takes 2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks.
Yes, so that we can iterate the neural networks more to have the best results.
I was in the studio to record the voice actor. How many hours?
So, as we said, depending on how many nuances of voice or sentiments you want, approximately for having like the full range of sentiments, which is like 8, 9, or 10 different types of voice, you would need to spend maybe 20 minutes for each one of those. So 20 per 10, like 200 minutes, if you want the full range of colors of your voice clone. So.
Another one here.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if, so this is not the same sort of generative AI technologies that you use for like a chat interface or so on. So if, let's say that I gave you 2 hours maybe of me speaking or acting a specific role, let's say, which had a range of emotions because I actually read from a manuscript, let's say, that, you know, that described a story arc or whatnot. So you would get all the emotions in that set, basically. Or maybe you had 10 hours of me speaking, you know, acting out a role. Would then the AI be able to, I guess, map
you mean mapping the sentiments automatically?
Yes, exactly. Because I heard that there are companies that do this, as far as I understood, and it's really freaking expensive. But have you tried that? And,
in our case, it was not worth to do it.
No.
Because we work with actors and we ask, okay, give me 1 hour of angry voice, 1 hour of sad voice, 1 hour, and they give you the file.
Yeah.
So we don't need that. If we were thinking of like more public or, yes, it would be the case. Right now we are more focused on maybe on B2B.
Yeah.
So in
and
that
making
case,
it affordable, so it doesn't cost like 50,000 euros to make one.
Sure.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right.
Thanks.
That's all. Many thanks for attending and many thanks to the organization also.
Thank you very much.